11 Scotland under-21 players are isolating after a COVID outbreak in the squad as Scottish football continues to count the cost of the pandemic.
So we got a phone call from the chief executive to say there was an issue with the Scotland under-21 squad in terms of somebody had tested positive for COVID, and due to the track and trace that we may lose 2 players by 11 o'clock. It was confirmed. We just arrived at the club to have the pre-match before St Johnstone, so Allan, Campbell and both him and Barry Maguire would not be able to be involved and would have to self-isolate for 2 weeks, so a huge blow.
It's probably been a bit slow start for some of your teammates, but you've pretty much went Tuesday, Saturday for the rest of the season. December won't be anything new.
I know, I just love playing football, so anytime you get a chance to play games, I'm happy with that. Just playing, recover, playing, that's what I look forward to, so the more games the better.
Allan done the press conference obviously on Friday. Both him and Barry trained as normal Thursday and Friday after they'd got their negative tests. Obviously we worked a lot in St Johnstone team shape. So yeah, it was a big disruption to plans. Mark O'Hara being so flexible, we had to push him up one to an 8 position, which I don't think he's played in all season, but I think the quality of his finish shows he's more than capable of that. For a club our size, it's a huge impact. I think ourselves in Aberdeen were massively impacted by that, so all in all a point for me was a good result.
Yeah boys, that's your fun, away you go!
A couple of days a week I like to stay behind and do a few extra set pieces and work on my game and add a few things to it. Nah, I might do some. I was going to do some pens in, is that right? Yeah, still involved, mate. This year I've been working on kind of set pieces and doing a few free kicks, and obviously I've had the responsibility of taking penalties, so I always make sure that I'm staying behind a few days and try to perfect them. Quite a lot of the time there's always a few boys hitting free kicks, stuff like that. Polly was there today. There's a lot of competition there, and I think we're all pushing each other to try and be the best. My mum and dad have given me a good upbringing, something they've really helped me with, and I think attitude's always been a big thing. I'm very hard working. I think my whole life kind of revolves around football and try to do the best I can. I like staying behind here at the gym and working hard and making sure I'm in good condition.
Oh, you've hit the GoPro. Was that supposed to be sitting there? Dave. Matty. What? How'd you work this thing?
Is that on?
It's a difficult time for everyone just now with the new COVID restrictions. For us, we're in a privileged position that we can get here and train every day, and obviously we're getting tested regularly, so it's so much better than stuck in the house. That was a long 6 months or whatever it was, the first ones, but the fact that we can still come in and work hard does mean a lot to a lot of us. I'm staying at home with my family, and my sister and my dad are both working from home. It's still a bit different just now, and everyone's a bit stressed in the homes, but hopefully it won't be long before we're back to normality.
Can I order the sea bass, please?
I enjoy going out for food and stuff like that. I think that's something I miss my days off and stuff like that. I'd like to go to the gym and relax as well more than anything and use the pool and stuff, but I'm missing going out and social things. I've not seen my friends, but I'm regularly in touch with them, and as I say, it's not the biggest deal in the world. We can deal with it, and the fact we're in a thankful position, a privileged position, that we're here and we're working. I obviously found myself playing a few different positions. Last year I was in on loan and maybe was used a bit more as a squad player, but I think I've only missed 45 minutes this season. A few injuries and things have led me to playing centre-back, which I really enjoyed. I hadn't really played there since I was 17-18, but I think it comes quite naturally to me, and I really enjoy playing there. It's really improved my understanding of the game in different positions, and I think that can only benefit me. I think the manager was confident in how I was taking my training and gave me that responsibility, which I'm thankful for. And that's obviously why I find myself to keep working on it and making sure that when I'm put in that situation on game day that I'm more than prepared. I think the one in Aberdeen was obviously, that was good. I got off to a good start. In main terms, obviously it was the one at Coleraine I think was big as well. After I've been down, although I was in a shootout, I think been down in the dumps after conceding 2 goals and such a high low. That was obviously, looking back, that meant a lot that we got off to a good start. To be honest with you, if I'm watching penalty shootouts, I find myself more nervous than being involved. I'm confident when I'm taking them that I'll score, so it's a matter of let's get this done and get on with it rather than worry about it.
Good. Good, two. Half jump, right. Good, up.
We've got St Johnstone Cup at the weekend and we're really looking forward to it. But I've never been to Hampden and it'd be something I'd really like to achieve, a bit of Scottish success. Obviously this squad's very capable and we feel that it's a big opportunity for us to do well in a competition like this, so there's hopefully that will kick-start Saturday and we can get ourselves into the last 8.
Okay guys, go with that. You're coming in.
Let's go there, boys, come on!
We got what we deserved. I thought St Johnstone were brighter. I think there was too much in the game, but they were brighter and sharper, so it simply wasn't good enough.
Lammy wins the header, falls to Watt. Tony Watt! Mother will take the lead.
Decision making was poor. I thought it was negative throughout. 2 ridiculous pieces of defending when we're in total control, gone 1-0 up and cost us the game.
Witherspoon in behind. St Johnstone are ahead.
We've got a mix of boys that are a little bit soft at the moment, and we're giving away cheap goals, and that needs to improve.
Full time, the cup adventure is over before it got started.
We've looked back at the St Johnstone game and we try and break it up, so Laz is taking the forwards and the managers touch on individuals, and my focus is talking to the 6s and the 8s, and that in layman's terms that's the defensive midfielder and the 2 attacking midfielders that are slightly higher on the pitch.
Alright, I don't want to stand above you and tell you what's the problem, I want you to tell me what the problem is. So you're starting to take a wee bit of ownership of what you're doing. Alright?
I'm basically touching on distances that they take up in the build-up phase. My responsibility this week is to make sure that the distances are not too big, because if we give the ball away then that's the holes that you get countered in. So I'm basically sharing what was good from the weekend, what can be tweaked. Then I will take it forward into a training session where I will then incorporate fullbacks and wingers.
So if you start playing, he starts playing. When he starts playing, he starts playing. You're always good to tell me when you're no good. But when you do something good, you've got to own it. You've got to be confident in yourself.
Some players learn from the audio, so I can tell Allan Campbell, boom, it's in. Some other people maybe need visuals on a computer. Some people actually need both. Some people need 3. They actually need to live the kinesthetic part. So we try to cover all the 4 bases of learning, which is obviously your audio, your read, write, and your visual.
Robbie? No? Barry? Good. That's it, lads. Cheers.
I think it's my 9th year coaching. I went at 4th Division Norway and stayed there for 3 seasons, and then ended up coaching at a higher level in Norway, and then bounced over to the Faroe Islands where I managed there for 2 years. So it's been an unconventional route, but one I think I had to go through. I like dealing with egos, I like dealing with personalities that quiz me. I like to be tested every day, and young boys are sometimes too loyal, whereas you just become, you don't get challenged mentally. Me, because I come to work every day, I want to get better. I want to be better than next week than I was this week. So I get that from the manager, I get it from Laz, Hinchy. I mean, you say coming to your work every day, it's no work for us. It doesn't feel like work for me. Getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, coming in here, it's a joy, it's a pleasure.
No, Long is not with me, you're with me, Paulie's with me, Dino, Jamie.
We are implementing 3 patterns in the midfield area that will hopefully assist us against their opponent at the weekend.
Don't overdo it. What do you see? Go on there, Mark. Bang, 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 bang.
I've given them 3 scenarios and the theory behind it. How to move around the football pitch in sync. So when it comes to Saturday, they have the theoretical moves that will help them. It's basically going through 2 or 3 different scenarios that if an opponent figures out one, we can flip to another one.
That counts for your interpretation, doesn't it? Brilliant, so let's go back again just for the opposite side, Nathan.
To kind of boil it down, it's the thoughts that you ask yourself, and it needs to be every half a second, because the picture changes half a second. Your opponent moves, somebody slips, the ball bounces, sticks in the mud. You've got to think constantly, and it's every half a second. So if you're no thinking, you're reacting. So we try to have the players constantly evaluating to be proactive. Yeah, there's days where we need to free their minds up, as the manager would say, free their minds up, let them go and play. We need to do that as well, but I always think the best players are they're proactive, like snooker players. Snooker players don't pot one ball, they think the third shot ahead. This is what we try to implement at Motherwell on a daily basis. I've never been in a dugout with the manager and lads. I think there's too many cooks spoil the broth. It's a bit of that. So I have the manager wants me from a higher vantage point. So if you think about it, if you're the manager, you're seeing things through like a mess of players. You know, it's hard to distinguish distances and stuff. When I'm elevated, I get a better view of it. Can I tell you the amount of times that I radio down, Gaffer, that needs fixed, he's already saw it anyway. So it's just in case there's things missed, which can easily be done in the heat of the moment. I'm kind of detached from it, so I don't get caught up in the manager's frustrations and the manager's excitement. It gets fed to Hinchy. Hinchy's like that, "Hi Mo, I know Mo, yeah, because I'm in his ear every 2 minutes. And then he relays that to Laz, and if it's pertinent enough, then it gets relayed to the manager. So it's kind of like a filtration system. I throw 100 things in and it gets filtered out, and by the time it gets to the gaffer, he's fixed it already. So that's how it works.
Well, it's been quite the week for Motherwell. 6 points gained after the SPFL ruled St Mirren and Kilmarnock breached COVID guidelines.
We're dealing with the outcome of the decision. It's been positive for us, obviously. Who's to say we wouldn't have won the 2 games anyway? I would have targeted 4 points minimum out of both games. But it's, as I said, I didn't make the decision. The club didn't make the decision. We were just at the right end of it this time, but also must keep everybody on the guard.
You have to go back to mid-August since Motherwell last lost to a non-Old Firm team. Can they keep that run going here this afternoon?
Yeah, a disappointing result. It's a tough one to take today because we had a perfectly good goal disallowed. There was no foul whatsoever. Changes the whole momentum of the game on 42 minutes. The key moments in the game didn't go for us. Bevis's one hits the post, comes out. Tony has a great chance when a brilliant breakaway. Again, we get punished for naive defending, and we need a wee bit more nastiness at times when when you're not 100% on top of the game.
Martin Boyle with a shot. Hibs have the lead. Oh, the dodge, low shot. 2-0 Hibs. And it's 3. Motherwell sucker punched at the last.
I'd be more worried if you weren't creating chances. I don't have to credit the boys for keeping getting in there. I'm not going to come out and vilify them. The players play in confidence, and I'll back them to the hilt after today.